Welcome to Alternative Investments Chat,
where we demystify the world of alternative investments and financing for entrepreneurs and investors alike.
With these discussions, we hope you're more empowered to unlock opportunities in your business or portfolio. I'm Erin.
And I'm Erica. Let's get started.
Welcome back to another episode of Alternative Investments Chat. Today, we are talking about a topic that has captured the hearts and headlines of many people and magazines, sports clubs.
That's right.
But as investments.
That's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. So from English football teams, as I like to always say, not football Americano, but English football.
Is that your English accent?
That's it sounds kind of not English at all, but we're going to roll with it. All the way to American pickleball leagues. Owning a piece of a sports franchise is no longer just for those billionaires anymore. It's becoming a serious alternative investment topic around here.
Yep.
But you have to wonder first, is it really worth all the glitz and glamour?
Yeah.
Or is there a real strategy behind actually investing in it? So let's dive in and take a look at it.
Yep. So starting at square one, what does it mean to invest in sports clubs? So just like investing in a tech startup or a real estate project, you're putting money into a sports team, and that means that you think that it will grow in value, right? Hopefully with that growth comes your profits. Cha-ching,
Money,
cha-ching.
money, money.
So this could come from ticket sales, merchandise, media rights, sponsorship deals, or even championship wins. Championship?
Either one.
Championship. No, it's championship. Wins. So that last one, though, might just be your heart talking. Everybody wants to win. But, you never know. Might come true for you.
Yeah.
There are a few ways that you can get in on the action. There's majority ownership, minority ownership, and publicly traded clubs. Can you tell me a little bit more about what the difference between those are?
Oh, I can. I love my sports clubs myself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sports girl.
Very much so. I know you're yay sports, and I've got my teams, but we'll discuss those later.
Yay sports.
There, like you said, there's the majority owners, which is considered kind of like the big boss move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is where the high rollers play. The people with the big monies. We're talking billionaires who buy entire teams. So like Steve Ballmer snapping up those LA Clippers for about $2 billion, or the Glazer family owning Manchester United. Manchester United, for anyone who doesn't know, is a soccer league.
Yep.
So as a majority owner, you make the big calls.
Mm-hmm.
Who to hire, who to fire, what the ticket prices are,
Yep.
what color the jerseys are. Basically, you're the head coach, but for the business side of it.
Yep.
So you need to remember that this way of investing is pricey and very public.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just investing, you're taking on an institution.
Yeah.
You have to remember that.
These are big money people.
Yes. And if your jersey colors are ugly, your fans are going to let you know. I promise.
Sure.
Seattle Seahawks. Anyway, minority ownership. Yeah, minority ownership. Maybe you're not ready to, just write that $1 billion check quite yet. Maybe tomorrow, but today you're just going to play a little safe.
Thinking about it. Yeah.
Do some thinking, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So many clubs actually offer minority stakes. So smaller ownership shares that still give you access to the club's successes, okay? Sure. And yes, you do get a few of those perks, like the owner's suite. We see them if you're watching the games. They're rather large, and you recognize like a few people, but I'm going to take a wild guess. Like some of the people in the back are the minority owners, right? Again, you aren't really actually controlling the team's destiny, but you can still benefit from its growth.
Sure.
Just like anything. And maybe you have a voice, you have a seat at the table when you're a minority ownership there. So in those big meetings, you can at least speak up.
A little bit. Minor voice.
Yeah. Minor. It's minor, but still you can You're still talk up about it.
Mm-hmm.
A quick little fun fact is actually Patrick Mahomes owns a piece of the Kansas City Royals.
Ah, there you go.
We got a quarterback over there that really likes to diversify his portfolio.
Yep,
My kind of guy. Then those last ones, we have publicly traded clubs that we talked about. Here's where it gets a little spicy. Sports teams, there are some sports teams that are publicly traded, meaning you can buy shares just like you would buy a stock in any company. So clubs like Manchester United, Juventus, or if you want to pretend that you're massively Italian, Juventus. And then we have Borussia Dortmund.
That was better than the English, I will say.
Maybe I'm more Italian. But we also have Borussia Dortmund, which is a German team.
Okay.
And they're listed on the stock exchange. So you can grab a few shares and technically say, hey, I'm a part owner of a football club.
Yeah.
Talk about a good conversation starter there.
Exactly.
What do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a part owner of a football club.
Yeah. That just also means if somebody says that in a bar to you to pick you up, you might want to investigate
exactly
the extent
of what they actually own, right? So investing this way is, extremely accessible, fun, and tied to real world performance.
Yeah, absolutely. So we didn't bring this up, but I do think that it's worth mentioning. People are getting creative in 2025, as
Always.
we know.
Yeah.
There are now crowdfunding platforms, as it seems there are for everything.
Yep.
There are fan-owned models, and there's even blockchain-based tokens. Super interesting. I didn't know about this. Like Socios fan tokens. So I went on that site. It's pretty interesting. You can actually, benefit from this like token exchange. Very interesting. These allow supporters to get involved in certain club perks, votes, and even experiences without having to, buy up the whole thing. And it's kind of like fantasy football meets Wall Street. Pretty cool. It's not traditional ownership, but it is part of the fan ecosystem, and it's growing fast.
Well, I secretly went on Socios and I was trying to buy you and I some shares, and I was going to reveal that I bought us a team or part of a team, except for this stupid site does not let it wasn't in our area. I was on there and I was going to buy me and you some shares so we could say that we were part owners, but thanks Socios. So they don't participate in our area. Just so you know, that was
this episode is not sponsored by Socios.
Exactly. But I mean, if it's available in your area, please look into it.
Yeah,
but
check it out.
Here, I was super bummed because I was like, oh, I'm going to go on and I'm going to surprise her and get us some shares. No, I tried.
Socios, I'm looking at you. I told you, telling you now.
She's coming for you for sure.
Get your butt out here.
Now.
Anyways.
Right now. Anyway, so let's talk about, so we know what you investing in these social clubs looks like now, kind of, or if you're allowed to, rude. Let's talk about the why people want to do this, right?
Totally.
There's something very magnetic about owning a sports team.
Definitely.
It's all about, if you ask me, the 4 Ps. We have the 3 T's in real estate. And we have the 4 Ps in sports clubs.
Give them to me.
Prestige, passion, power, and of course, profit.
Love.
Which, again, profit is if you play your cards right, but we'll get to that later, okay? So what exactly is the draw? Again, why are billionaires, celebrities, private equity firms, and even your average investor lining up to get a piece of this action?
Yep. I think that's a great question. So we're going to break it down into 6 parts. So first up, the money.
Duh.
Sports clubs have become media powerhouses, right? We know this. There's a Monday Night Football song. I just said Monday like my grandmother. That was crazy.
Is that how she pronounces it?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
This is what you get for making fun of my football accent.
I guess. I'm channeling my grandma right now. Yeah. Anyways, Monday, night football, there's a whole thing. Carrie Underwood and her legs.
Yep.
That's all a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
The universe is large. So we're talking about these multi-billion-dollar TV and streaming deals. Let's think about NFL's eye-popping $110 billion media rights agreement.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. Or the global reach of the English Premier League, which has an audience of almost 5 billion people, right? People watch MU games here. People watch, that's crazy because we are not a soccer nation by any means.
We're slowly getting there.
But it's not a part of our culture as much as it is in England. And so that's pretty cool. And this revenue is pouring in from broadcast rights. Think about ESPN, Apple TV Plus, Amazon, ticket sales and season passes, merchandise, jerseys, every other knickknack. How many people do you see on a daily basis wearing some sort of sports merchandise?
I have tons. I have stuff in my office. I have decals on my car. Like all of that stuff goes, I mean, the money goes somewhere, right?
Yep. People are into it for sure.
Yeah.
Stadium naming rights, right? And sponsorship deals. People pay a lot of money to have their name. Let's think about SoFi Stadium. They pay a lot of money to be the SoFi Stadium or the State Farm Stadium or whatever. And there's also digital content and influencer style monetization on social media platforms. So they've really figured out how to make the most out of something that seems maybe so simple as, you know, a sport.
Yeah.
And it is this huge phenomenon.
I love it.
So coming in second, we have global fan bases, which also equals global markets.
Yep.
It's really cool to have a loyal local fan base, right? I'm thinking about the Raiders in Las Vegas. Not the best performing team as far as I know, but people are passionate.
Yeah.
However, having millions of fans all around the world is even better. If we think about like maybe the Yankees, like people from all around the world know the Yankees. Sports teams have transcended geographically, right? There are Yankees fans that are here in Arizona. That doesn't make all that much sense.
Well, it's funny because I was just in Cuba and every Cuban wears a Yankees hat. And the reason is because the Yankees brought on the first Cuban baseball player. And so because of that,
interesting.
Of course, you know, they themselves probably don't know any of the other teams. They might know some. I don't want to discredit their baseball knowledge here, but they all wear, you walk around, they all have Yankees hats on.
Yep, that's very, very interesting fact there. So you have people from all around the world that are involved, and this creates a global marketplace. You're no longer just selling jerseys in your city for your local fans. You're selling jerseys all over, and you are able to have merch that is moving all across the world. You have streaming games. You know, games are being streamed all over the world as well. And it's a goldmine for those brand deals, tourism, and digital engagement. If we think about like Super Bowl and the Super Bowl ads, which are arguably sometimes more exciting than the actual
It has been
game.
for a few years,
you know, people spend a lot of money to get their ad up because they know people from all around are watching.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
So here's the third part. Cultural influence and the status symbol, right?
Yeah.
Owning a sports team is pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not really, you know, into sports, but like I would own if someone wants to like give it to me, I'll own it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a huge flex, right? People say that and it definitely draws attention. With the ownership, you get these perks like the courtside seats, sometimes even private jets, and even, you know, fist bumps from the legends. Like you're close with your favorite players and you get to be involved.
Yeah. Or unfortunately, if you're like Kevin Hart, you get food poisoning and end up puking courtside. Do you see that in the news?
No.
Oh, poor dude got super sick sitting courtside. And there's just so many images of Oh, no, not Kevin Hart. It was Tracy Morgan. Sorry. It was Tracy Morgan. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
He ended up sitting courtside and puking because poor guy got food poisoning. But hey, you're still sitting courtside.
You're puking on the court side. How many people could say that?
Exactly.
And this is one of the reasons, not really the puking, but the perks.
The other ones.
Why a few celebrities like Beyonce, Jay-Z, and even Michael B. Jordan are entering the sports ownership game, right? I feel like I see Beyonce and Jay-Z at a lot of games. The, you know, paparazzi shots.
Yep.
Beyond this status comes the influence, right? You're not just running a business, you are shaping culture, building a legacy and making headlines. Sports, especially in America, are huge. It's a big part of our culture.
Yeah.
And you get to be a part of it.
Yeah. And also, I mean, those are some fun reasons just to invest in general.
Yeah.
So, but let's kind of discuss the business side now, the not so fun stuff. So we've got long-term asset appreciation when you invest in this asset class. So sports franchises tend to appreciate in value big time. Obviously, a lot of people are loving sports a little bit more. So let's look at some of the numbers. Of course, I had to choose the best team ever in the entire world.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
My personal favorite, Dallas Cowboys. Hate us all you want. We still got five Super Bowl rings. Okay, my friends.
And there goes half of our
half of our viewers are like, Cowboys, listen, okay. At least I'm not a Browns fan. Sorry for all the Browns fans.
I don't know any of the nuance of any of this. You could tell me.
I'll send you some stuff.
Whatever.
Because the Browns are pretty bad. But Cowboys, and we've had some tough years, but I'm still a loyal fan. So the Dallas Cowboys were worth about $150 million in 1990s, okay? So Forbes now actually estimates their value over $9 billion. That's a 6,000% return.
I feel like I should have done a spit take there.
Yeah.
9 billion.
Yeah. No, don't get it on the microphones. These are expensive. But I mean, that would be if, Daddy Jerry, as we like to call him, would ever sell the team, okay? But we know he's not going to. But could you imagine 6,000, anything else where you get a 6,000% return? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So why the jump then? So scarcity actually plays a huge role in this asset class. There's only so many professional teams in the world.
Yep.
It's not like they, create another one and create another one and create another one. It would just mess everything up. So it's like built-in exclusivity. Why do I always write exclusivity in my lines? And because I'm not thinking about it. So they build in exclusivity, whatever, drives demand way up. I should stop writing my script and putting the words that I can't pronounce clearly in them, right?
I like to give yourself a challenge.
Always, every day. So if you were to buy in now with a team and it actually does really well, they perform really well on the field and in the books and all over, you're sitting on a gold mine, if you really ask me. So you also have the entertainment synergy. So this is something that's, I think a lot of investors don't really think about when you think about investing in sports clubs. So sports teams are no longer just sports teams. They're content engines. Everything. Look at the explosion of sports documentaries. For example, Drive to Survive, which was about Formula One. The Last Dance, which was the story of Michael Jordan's career, which I watched. It was really, really good. And then, of course, you have Welcome to Wrexham. And that's, seriously, who couldn't love Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney? They're pure magic together. It's hilarious. If you ever get a chance and just bored, I would highly suggest watching those. They're so funny.
There's also the brand new F1 movie that just came out.
Yes, and that raked in. If I listen to a lot of movie podcasts as well, and so they just did a whole, I think I was on watching or listening to, I guess I should say, the Big Picture podcast, and they're talking about it brought in a ton of money, and I hear it's really, really good. I'm actually curious, and I'd love to go see it. But again, these movies exist because people are interested in this sport. And these sports altogether. So smart investors are actually finally realizing that owning a team means you're sitting on a story.
Yeah.
So and in today's world, storytelling, it just sells so much. So whether it's building a streaming series, you can licensing video games. What is it, McFadden or something? There's a football game that's been around forever and a decade. Madden. I said McFadden. I don't know who McFadden is, but that's how old. I don't play video games. I love sports. Don't play video games. Sorry.
Yeah, I do know that.
There you go. You got it. Or if you're selling drama of a championship run, again, the Michael Jordan story was really, really cool.
Right.
Sports plus entertainment equals a whole new revenue stream. Plain and simple. So the sixth reason that we want to talk about why investors are investing in sports club is extremely simple. Sometimes it's just about the love of the game.
Yeah.
Some investors could care less about the spreadsheets, and they love the team. It goes deeper than the money side. They grew up rooting for a team, and now they want to give back and maybe even help shape its future. So, think LeBron James investing in Liverpool, or we've got Magic Johnson with the Dodgers. These aren't just financial moves; they're personal now. All right. So now we've highlighted that's the highlight reel of all of that. We viewed that, and now it's time for the reality check, okay?
Yeah.
Investing in a sports club, well, it's not all slam dunks and what I like to call Gatorade showers, and which you can bet on. Did you know at the Super Bowl, you can bet on the color of the Gatorade that is dumped
I don't know
on
any
the
of
winning
this.
head coach?
That's crazy.
We got to get you. I'll get you gambling one day.
Okay. Right. One day.
One day. But this is really a business at the end of the day, right? And like any other business, comes with its fair share of risks.
Yep, that's right. So before you go out trying to snatch up your local sports team, and of course I don't mean driving a van over and throwing them all in the back and kidnapping them.
No, that's
again,
we don't advise that.
That's a different podcast, and we'll get into the pros and cons.
Those are true crime podcasts.
Later. No, but let's talk about the curveballs that might happen right when you are investing in this asset class. Yeah. First one is pretty obvious. Winning.
Yeah.
Sports are about winning.
They are.
Like a lot. Your mom and dad might tell you it's not about winning. It's about playing the game.
Yeah, no, liars. They're just lying to you.
Exactly. Might be true when you're, playing Little League, but not so true when you're in the NFL.
Yeah.
So what happens when a team is consistently losing?
Yeah.
Normally, this could mean fewer fans in the seats, fewer shirts sold. And in today's world, a lot of angry tweets. People are upset.
Oh, yeah.
And if we think about like the bandwagon, like when people join on a bandwagon team, it's, people are winning. People like to be at a game where they're winning, so a lot more seats get sold with those.
Absolutely.
If a star player is injured, that can actually tank your profits faster than the awkward silence following a bad joke. But cricket. But we have to remember, like you said, fans are emotionally tied to this game. Yeah. So they want things to go a certain way, and they're not shy about voicing their displeasure when a team isn't performing. So the pressure is real.
Yeah, very real. Just go on during football season, just go on Facebook or Instagram and just scroll through. Some of your friends are definitely making comments. I know, again, you're not the sports fanatic, but I'll see some of my friends posting and it's hilarious. It's, trust me, I'm like, you would never say that to anyone's face, but it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a sports fanatic, but I do know the Book of Mormon, the musical, and there is a little segment of a song that says, when my dad would get real mad every time the Utah Jazz would lose.
Yep.
So,
I wouldn't talk to that dad then.
Sometimes it affects people's moods for sure. Another risk is that operating costs are massive.
Yes.
So running a sports club is like throwing the world's most expensive party every single week.
Yep.
So you have player salaries. Sometimes, you're seeing these $300 million contracts, right? Seems like more money than you could imagine.
Yeah.
For playing a game. Not to bash, but that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Travel expenses, of course, staff, stadium maintenance, marketing, legal teams, and so much more. That's literally a tiny slice.
Yeah, there's probably tons of stuff we don't even think about as well.
Absolutely. And guess what? Most of that cash has to go out before it comes in. So some clubs actually survive on these razor-thin margins, and some operate at a loss, actually, for years.
Yeah.
So an investor needs deep pockets and long-term vision. Otherwise, they might feel burnout early on.
Yeah, I can see that. So, now we've briefly touched on how the emotions play a role in this asset class, but it goes deeper than just the fans. So imagine this for a few seconds. You're a minority owner of your hometown club, Arizona, for example. Your favorite player wants a raise. So do you risk not sticking to your budget or pay him because he's one of your favorite players?
Or you might lose him.
Yeah, you're nostalgic about, he ended up winning this legendary game in 2009. So what do? Sports investments are extremely emotional. So fans are passionate, as we know, and owners are often former super fans. Okay. So, and the decisions can get really personal really fast.
Sure.
It's easy to let your heart override your business sense. Again, it in all businesses, your friend, you might let them do something that you wouldn't let another employee do.
Sure.
It's that your heart talking.
A little
So
complicated.
yeah, you need discipline in this asset class, because while passion sells those tickets, it doesn't pay the bills. Right.
And it doesn't run the team either,
No,
necessarily.
no.
Not all passion.
Not all passion. Next up, we have that unpredictability, which sports are extremely unpredictable, and that's why we love them, right? So for a few investors, unpredictability can be a nightmare. However, so a fluke loss, a scandal, strike, or even a rainy season can mess up those ticket sales, and it can affect your bottom line. My boyfriend and I always talk. He's a basketball fan and I'm a football fan. And I'm learning to like basketball. I've liked basketball, but I never understood like the 7-game series.
Oh, sure.
And I'm like, it's so long. Can they just pick I don't understand. In football, it's just one game. And he brought up a great point. He goes, well, what happens if that one game, the reason he doesn't like football and like the Super Bowls, it's one game. So what happens if your star player has like the flu or something like that? It can mess up everything. So this best of 7 makes more sense in his brain, because at least you get an opportunity
more of like an average or
exactly
whatever, as opposed to a coin flip. Not that that's exactly what it is.
No, but you got it. Yeah, you understand. So, and then also like COVID-19, those global pandemic that we just survived, it shut down the entire league. So it emptied stadiums and forced owners to eat millions in losses.
Yep,
and
not ideal.
Yeah, and that's a risk. That's the risk you're trying with your money when you invest in live events.
Yeah, exactly.
We're fortunate to actually know a gentleman, will leave his name out, but we know somebody who actually owns a baseball team. And I remember talking to him during the pandemic and being like, what's going on? Oh man, he was mad.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, that's his livelihood right there.
That's
Someone messes with my livelihood, I know I'd be upset as well.
Yeah, of course. And that's one of the many reasons I don't like thinking about the pandemic. There's so many bad things that happened during that time. It's a little piece of history that we will carry with us. Something else to consider when investing in sports clubs is there are certain infrastructure headaches that can happen. Are you thinking about building a new stadium or a training facility? Well, what comes with that?
Yeah.
Permits, politics, and really long construction timelines. So
yeah,
hope you like that. Facility development is a major undertaking, and it can drain capital. You can face delays, and it can turn into a PR nightmare if local communities aren't on board, right? If you're trying to build something people don't want, that's rough. Plus, many stadiums rely on public-private partnerships, and this can mean red tape, tax debates, and the occasional angry town hall meeting, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're changing the landscape of a community, people have a lot to say.
Yes, they do.
The last risk that we are going to discuss here is common for most asset classes. However, there is economic and regulatory risk.
Yeah.
Just like any other business, sports clubs are affected by the broader economy. So if there's recessions, people likely aren't going to be buying as many tickets because they are saving their money to buy necessities.
Pay their rent.
Pay their
electric bill on. Keep the water going.
Buy groceries. All that stuff. Inflation, okay, well, your operation costs could skyrocket, eating into your profits. Currency shifts, the overseas TV deal that you might have might shrink in value. So there are league rules and regulations as well, salary caps, transfer windows, financial fair play laws. So all sorts of stuff. And they can change. And when they do, your business model has to pivot with them and very quickly in order to stay profitable.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So is investing in a sports club right for you? Well,
not for me, probably.
Probably not, yeah. Well, if you've got a mix of cash, passion, patience, and a pretty thick skin, remember those sports fans can be very brutal, and they will blame you, even though it's not your fault. They will definitely blame you.
Sure.
Then maybe it is. So it's not just about the love of the game anymore. It's still an investment, and you need to be savvy. You need to be strategic, and have a whole lot of hustle, if you ask me.
Yep. Totally agree there. And remember, whether you're eyeing that minor league team or dreaming of owning courtside seats, the little benefits that you get from owning a bigger team. One thing is for sure, investing in sports is never boring, right? Sports club can combine passion and potential, but they're not passive. Investors need to approach them just like any other business with research, strategy, and a clear view of the risks.
All those risks. Well, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope this episode was a home run for you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for more insight on our next episode.
And don't forget to subscribe to continue the alternative investments chat. See you next time.
Content provided in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as professional, financial, or investment advice. This podcast should not be construed as an offer to sell or a solicitation of any offer to buy any securities. We strongly recommend that you seek advice from a qualified professional before making any financial decisions.